As a performance dietitian, I spend my day helping athletes and high performers get every advantage possible, and hydration is one of the biggest difference makers. But what most people don't realize is hydration isn't just about how much water you drink, but how your body actually absorbs and utilizes it. And Protect Hydration is the only hydration supplement that I recommend. It's a liquid electrolyte supplement that absorbs more efficiently than any powder on the market. The precise formula of sodium, potassium, and magnesium matches exactly what you lose in sweat, with no sugar, no dyes, and no artificial ingredients. I've tested nearly every hydration product on the market, and nothing comes close to the performance and purity of Protect. It's veteran-owned, made in the USA, and it's the only product I trust for myself and my clients. If you take your performance seriously, go to protect.com/truth and experience the difference real hydration makes. My guest today is BJJ black belt and high-level competitor Gavin Corbe, co-owner of BlackBox Grappling Club in Virginia Beach, where I so happen to train. This gym brings a tough, unorthodox style to jiu-jitsu that I am confident is soon going to be known as one of the best jiu-jitsu schools in the world. So listen in. How did you get into jiu-jitsu?
So I actually got into Muay Thai first. When I was 7, there was this gym next to our house, me and my brother's house, and we went and did their program. Then we saw after class that these guys in pajamas came in with belts and started rolling around. And of course, starting as a Muay Thai kid, I'm like, yo, that's ridiculous. It could never be me. Could never be me. Then I met one of those guys, one of the main guys that ran the jiu-jitsu program, or one of the guys that trained. And I don't know if you met him, James Gamble.
I don't think so.
But he sat with me and my brother. We were just kids, and he's a goofy adult with no filter, and just started asking us questions and like basically saying that, yo, you guys should try jiu-jitsu. And then after like 2 years of him pestering us, not really pestering us, but he was always around, right? We gave it a try. And it was a lot more fun than Muay Thai. One, I didn't like getting hit. Then the first class we did, I was 9 years old. I think my brother was 13. We learned like a closed guard armbar. I was like, dang, this is sweet. You telling me if I just put my leg over, I could break this guy's arm? I was like, yo, this is sweet. And it was very intuitive for me and my brother. I don't know if we were like, I guess, athletically gifted or the base from Muay Thai, but yo, from the first time we did class and rolling, we were submission hunters. And after getting like, submitting your first guy, I'm like, all right. We slowly eased off of Muay Thai and transitioned to fully jiu-jitsu.
And I know you wrestled too, so you did jiu-jitsu before wrestling though?
Yeah. So I did jiu-jitsu before wrestling, and my brother started doing wrestling in middle school. About at the same time he started jiu-jitsu. Then when I got of age, like 6th grade, I didn't really make choices for myself. It's like, oh, my brother did it. All right, I'll do it. So I started wrestling, and I did fairly good. So it's kind of hard to hate what you're naturally good at. So I just kept wrestling. Yeah.
And you talked about it being intuitive. And one thing I feel like with jiu-jitsu and wrestling, like combat sports maybe in general, is I've said this, and you'll hear people talk about how it like creates you, like it makes you a man, or it really creates who you are as a person. But sometimes I think it really just reveals who you are. Mm-hmm. It's not really like showing what you'll become, but it like reveals who you are, and it pulls these attributes that maybe you didn't really know that you have, and it just really attracts a certain maybe messed up kind of person who just enjoys that type of thing.
Yeah. I would say I'm very competitive since I was a kid. So I don't know, there's something innate or something, like you said, might just came out of me when I started doing jiu-jitsu. It's like the purest form of competition. It's like there's the intellectual aspect of it, but it all comes down to physical interaction and basically asserting my will against their will. Not in a bad way, right? But it's like wrestling. Like I'm trying to put this guy down and he's not trying to get put down. And I don't know, with me being so competition heavy and getting wins like that, it's just very gratifying. So
yeah, I think it's pure too because there's no equipment advantage. Mm-hmm. Like there can't be a your dad donated X amount of money
Yeah.
to the school, so you get to be on the starting team.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a thing. It's literally, if you're the best that week, you get to wrestle.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. And the same thing with jiu-jitsu and wrestling. If you're not good at something, you can drill your way into being good at it.
Yeah.
You can practice your way, like bring up those attributes.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. I just think there's something so pure about it compared to other sports.
Yeah. It's hard to fake, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard to fake it. Like your weaknesses will be shown eventually, or maybe on your first competition, right? Like you can't hide from your faults in jiu-jitsu or wrestling.
Yeah.
It will be exposed. And I like that.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the coolest things about the way you guys train at your gym, and it's what you call it, constraints-led training.
Constraint-led approach.
Constraint-led approach is you have to play into weaknesses.
Yeah.
You know, like yesterday afterwards, you even looked at me, you're like, "I'm sorry, I know that was all of your. Cause I'm not the most flexible and I don't have the most dexterity with my legs from the knee surgeries, and it was all leg stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of it is that type of training forces that. Whereas, like if I'm going to a traditional gym, especially as a high rank guy, I could choose my rounds if I wanted to. You know, like I could force it to where I'm only doing the things I like. Like, no, we're always starting chest to back with hooks, and we're always starting chest to chest. So that's cool. With that approach, like you can be a winner and a loser almost every practice because you're going to find ways that you're good and you're going to find ways that you're bad.
Yeah.
When did you start training that way specifically?
Was it 2026? I think around 2022 or 2021. So me and D were here in Virginia Beach, and we grew up here and training here under Nestor. Then D ended up graduating college, getting a job in Maryland, and he also knew Greg and where he met his wife, and that's where we learned about this training style. Greg was experimenting, learning about it. He was developing this, and when he saw D, they talked. And I can't really speak on it too much because that's D and Greg's thing, but there was just an agreement between coach and athlete that Greg was going to want to see this through CLA, see how it fits, how it works, and D was the guy, and D agreed. And ever since then, they've been all CLA, so all live work. Then, just like wrestling, oh, D's doing it. I'm going to do it too, right? And it aligned more with how my personality is, right? Not that I don't like people telling me what to do, but sometimes I can't retain information. Like I wander off, I focus on other things. So you're telling me, oh wait, just need to know these tasks and be competitive and try to complete these tasks is all I need to get better. All right, sign me up. Easy.
Yeah. And when you say Greg, that's
Greg Souders, our coach at Standard Jiu-Jitsu.
Just so everyone knows, and if anyone's unfamiliar with that style of training, can you explain a little bit exactly what it means? Like,
Okay,
what a traditional session might look like, and one of the games that we might play.
Okay, I might butcher it.
It's okay.
I can't articulate as good as Greg or D, but CLA is all live work. People call it positional sparring, repackage, but it's really we're looking to create conditions and effects that lead to winning the game, submissions, right? And that could look many different ways. So how we design a practice is we can start close to the conditions that are needed to finish the game, submission, or we go backwards because that's how we start in competition, disconnected. So we splice up scenarios or games where we can maximize the volume in different exchanges. Let's say like legs for you, right? Traditionally, people might drill legs or things that they might think are leg attacks, things that will be effective for legs. Then they might roll and never get into any exchanges that it exposes you to legs, right? So that's a good example. For practice, we might have a 10-minute round was just purely legs. And if we get a win or someone does a defensive win, we restart back in legs. Basically maximizing the volume, right? We're getting more time in different parts of the grappling exchange so we become proficient. That's my best way of saying it.
Vitargo's the carb drink I recommend for people who actually train hard. When you train, your muscles run on stored carbs, and the faster you can replenish this, the better you're going to be able to recover and perform. Most carb drinks sit on your stomach, but Vitargo empties quickly and allows you to use it so you can bounce back quicker between sessions. If you're an athlete or someone who just trains really hard, go to VitargoUSA.com and use code TRUTH15 for 15% off. I've been using Velo Red Light for quite some time now, and the results I've noticed are pretty shocking. I've seen clearer skin, greater hair growth, and faster recovery between sessions. Red light therapy supports cellular energy, muscular recovery, and skin health, and Velo makes it really easy to do with their panels that you can use at home. If you've been on the fence about trying red light therapy, Velo makes it extremely easy to do so, and we're going to make it even easier. Go to VeloRedlight.com and use code TRUTH20 for 20% off, or visit the link in the show notes. That's good. And to expand upon that, a win doesn't necessarily mean a submission, which is what's so cool. It's literally focusing on the task. Maybe for one guy, the one that I really like and we start with a lot is two guys going, you have to tap behind the knee three times. And once you tap behind the knee three times, and the thing is I'm doing it and you're doing it. So we're both competing to get to three first. And once you get to three first, the way you win is I have to touch your hands to the mat, or then I have to close hands on a leg, or I have to close hands chest to back. So it's we're both fighting for that win. Yeah. And it's really cool because then you don't even necessarily realize it. But the next time you do a live round, you start doing knee taps and stuff, just setting it up. And it naturally trains you to set up these takedowns and look for these things rather than just looking for the final goal. It really teaches you to focus on all the tasks leading up to the final goal, which is a submission.
Well, and that's representative of what we do, say open round and spar and competition. When we remove, if we could just drill knee taps, right? But like you said, you notice that we're fighting for the same things, so the looks are going to be different. And if we just drill knee taps, there's always going to be some disconnect when we try to, all right, for example, I knee tap. All right, I'm drilling it 5 times. Then I go competition. Wait, this guy's not letting me knee tap. Yeah. Then you gotta make that transition of connecting. Oh, how do I do what I drill on a live opponent? We just cut that. We go straight to live, right? We know what we're looking for, connection and all that stuff, and putting it under a live environment as quick as we can. We'll save a lot of time and become more efficient practice.
Yeah. And I posted something on Instagram the other day about BlackBox, tagging the gym and stuff. And it was just a thought I had. It's jiu-jitsu is grappling, but grappling isn't just jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And I think that's one thing that's captured so well there. I think in a lot of gyms, especially more of your traditional ones, they become jiu-jitsu gyms, which is fine. It's an art. And I think it's one of the best combat arts. But in my own personal bias, I think wrestling's the best martial art.
I believe so too.
I do. I feel like
as a jiu-jitsu guy, I believe wrestling because I've been through the seasons for 8 years. It's it takes a different kind of person to get through that. And if you do make it out to the other end, you're just set up for life at any endeavor you do. Versus jiu-jitsu, you could be good, then not be good in business, not be good in anywhere else because it's so specialized.
Yeah, and you'll from the striking arts, their argument is, well, fight start standing. Yeah, and I don't want it to go to the ground. You go against a really good wrestler, you don't get the choice. Yeah, you better hope that strike knocks them out because if they close hands on you, you're going to the ground. And the cool thing is, a wrestler decides if it stays standing or if it goes to the ground. And a really good wrestler, you can't get to the ground. So again, the way you all do it and the way we're kind of training at BlackBox is it's combining all of it. Yeah. So it is the intense wrestling, the intense grappling all the way to the ground, and the really intense jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So in my opinion, it's that the style and everything is perfect for anyone who's interested in groundwork, the ground arts. But I know you have a wrestling background. How far did you go with that? How did you do in wrestling before?
Yeah. So my brother started doing wrestling when he was in middle school. And for some reason, it's all right, I'm going to do the same thing. Really no conscious thought behind it. In middle school, I did all right. Just it was in time to win things, right? It's mostly or mainly focused on development, learning how to practice, learning how to drill, learning how to be a good drilling partner. Then when I got into high school, I started getting more serious about it. I really made it a goal to be a state champ. And I gave myself my freshman year. I was like, I'm a freshman. If I make it to states, I'm fine. You know, I'm happy,
that's
right?
good.
But it's like I can't use that freshman card every year, right? So I'm like, after this year, I'm gonna turn up, and that's when I got into cutting weight and like taking it maybe a bit too seriously. Whereas like it really consumed my life, and wrestling was my whole life from my sophomore, junior, and senior year. Everything I did was about wrestling. I woke up, thought about wrestling. I went to sleep thinking about wrestling for the 3 years straight. And my sophomore year, I made it to the state finals. I was cutting a lot of weight, and you know, I was so focused on the goal, not really about wrestling, and I ended up losing in the final, maybe like 3-2 or something like that, and that just devastated me. And I gained like 40 pounds afterwards because I was cutting a lot of weight. I'm like, yo, I feel bad. This food is kind of making me feel good. Wait, it's not all right. It wore off. All right, eat some more, right? Yeah. And then that was like I was like that for like 3 months. Then wrestling season right around the corner already, so I started locking in again, and I ended up doing taking it less seriously, less cutting weight, still cutting weight, but less cutting weight. Just focused on getting better, and I ended up winning that year, becoming a state champ, and I felt pretty good. The process was a lot more gratifying than actually winning it. Then I had Jiu Jitsu on the off season. Then senior year, it's like my freshman year. I made it to states. I'm happy. I became a state champ. I'm happy. So I took it a lot less seriously my senior year, and I made it to the state finals again. Then I ended up losing maybe 3-2, and that ended my wrestling career.
You said you feel like your focus changed when you actually won state and you weren't so focused on weight cutting.
Yeah.
What were the things that you changed that year?
So, yeah, I would have to talk about my sophomore year first.
Okay.
Because I was very ignorant on everything. So my first thought was and you see it in MMA, if I cut more weight and get to a lower weight class, the chances of me winning will be higher. So I was 106 my freshman year, and I didn't cut any weight. Second year, I was 125. I'm like, all right, easy, 106 again. No knowledge of weight cutting. I'm like, all right, eat less, drink less until I make 106. That was the way. And practicing 2.5 hours a day, I'm like, oh man, my bones hurt, everything hurts. But wrestling mindset, I'm just weak. I just need to push through that. So running on a water bottle a day and maybe 400 calories for a prolonged period of time, I did fairly well. Winning hurt, practice hurt, but I don't know. I was kind of dialed because I was basically suffering. And I got all the way to state finals, and I thought I was entitled to win because I've been suffering the most. I've been suffering the most, so I earned this. Then I lost, and that threw me for a loop. I got that postseason depression, eating a lot, gained 40 pounds. That did not help my mental state. Then the third year is the year I won states. I was just all right, I learned from my experience. Maybe I don't have to suffer as much, right? And I wouldn't say it was optimized approach the year I won, but it was a lot better than my sophomore year. And I just started thinking about things I could control, right? Putting my best effort in practice, doing everything I can to get better, and just leaving it at that. And I had a lot less anxiety, and it just so happened that I performed better, I won more matches, and I'm winning in the state finals. And then I was like, damn, that wasn't too much of my goal this year, but I ended up winning, right? It's funny how things happen. That I wanted something so bad, and I fall short. But the moment I'm like, all right, state champion is fine stuff. If it happens, it happens. Doesn't, then it happens. Then I was like, all right, sweet.
Yeah, I talk a lot about in my work with clients, process goals versus outcome goals. And now that I think about it, that's kind of a constraints-led approach mindset too. But I tell these guys a lot, and the people I work with is hey, what's your final goal? Well, my final goal is to lose 100 pounds. All right, cool. Let's write this down. Let's write this goal down. And then under this, let's talk about all the things that are keeping you from it. And I'll actually have them make a list of the things that are keeping them from that goal.
Yeah.
And now we're going to create goals to help us eliminate these things. And those become the actual goal.
Yeah.
So the goal isn't lose 100 pounds. And for you, the goal wasn't at that point, the goal no longer became win state. The goal was do all these other things that can lead to that final outcome. It's like, let's focus on just getting better. You know, and in my own training, I'm starting to do that because I'm wanting to compete again. And I'm like, you know what? Before I even focus about like, man, you need to get you need to compete. It's like maybe I should get to the point where I can re-swim my feet in for you know things like that. So it's I think falling in love with the processes that lead to the outcome is oftentimes what helps people actually reach the outcome they were hoping for.
Yeah, I'm really big on that like growth mindset because like after like my sophomore year, just focusing on the goal, I know the shortcomings of that. And the effect it will have on me if I don't win. Like if I win, I probably still feel the same way. It's like, oh, that's it. But sorry, I know we got
we're in Virginia Beach. We have Oceana, like
freedom
nearby.
fighters.
So the freedom fighters are going hard overhead.
That's what always says during kids class. You guys hear that? That's the sound of freedom right there. That's how me and my brother grew up. So, but yeah, I'm very oriented towards like growth mindset and Carol Dweck's work on that. It's just really doing the best you can and understanding that you're not going to be perfect at first. And it's like the little increments of progression should be the way you orient. And for me, like as a bigger scope of that, it's like if I could be the best I could be in whatever endeavor, then these small goals like winning states or winning worlds in Jiu Jitsu or going to ADCC will sort itself out. We still make those goals as a little bit to guide our direction for practice, but that's not the end goal. The end goal is to practice and do things that we enjoy and get better every day. A lot of people don't realize that, right? It's like, is it like for you? It's like, is it really about losing 100 pounds? Or is it about being the best version of yourself? Is the best version of yourself 100 pounds less? Then do you necessarily need to focus on getting 100 pounds less, right? And that's just more sustainable and more intrinsically motivating. Yeah.
And I feel like when you just focus on the outcome, you're not worried about how you get there.
Yeah.
You're not focused on the quality of the processes to get there.
Yeah. Like you're going to sacrifice a lot of things that weren't necessarily needed to be sacrificed. Like, again, my sophomore year when I was trying to win states, like I literally threw my whole life away. Like all the things I like to do, I'm like, no, sacrifice is needed for me to win this. I suffered more, so I should win this. So I stopped gaming. I stopped, stopped eating.
Right.
Like I was in the library at lunch on Flow Wrestling watching all these things. It's like, because I was so obsessed about this goal that I didn't realize that, especially in a important developmental stage of my life, that I'm losing a lot. I'm not giving my body what it needs, or my person what it needs to be a high school kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of the good and the good, bad, and ugly of wrestling and jiu-jitsu and fighting. One thing when we're talking like with dietitians and stuff, dietitians tend to say things like, well, you can't perform without enough calories. You can't perform without carbohydrates. You can't do this. Like, that's not true. Yeah. Like if you've ever seen a wrestler, I think that's what makes me different is I have that experience is like, you shouldn't, but a wrestler or say one of the Navy SEALs that I'm working with, like you tell these guys, you can't perform on hardly no food. Like, well, yeah, actually I did. And I actually did very well. I competed at a very elite high level with inadequate food. Yeah. Because the mind can do a lot of things and you can still perform at a very high level, not getting enough food, not getting enough carbohydrates. It's totally possible for a limited amount of time, but other things break. Yeah. Like there's other things kind of like breaking during that help you accomplish the final thing. And I do think it's important to understand as you did, like there was a lot of sacrifices you had to make that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it any other way. And I tell some of my friends and some of the guys that are training, it's like, I'm not going to tell you anything about like, cause I have a not perfect knowledge of nutrition, but I can learn from my mistakes and help other people. But I'm not going to give them that advice. I want them, all right, they just eat the same and they start training twice a day. I'm not going to tell, oh, you need to eat this, you need to refuel.
Bro.
They'll understand quickly.
Yeah.
And being able to like be aware of that right away, then like if they say, yeah, I just haven't been recovering. I'm like, wait, have you been eating? Have you been hydrating? Have you been sleeping? Then like that impact of that message will be a lot more, will be more amplified, right? Because there's a need. There's some guys like, oh, I need to be very optimal on everything. Like, bro, you haven't even done anything yet.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
what's the point of optimization? You don't even know. There's no experience connected to that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're trying to biohack and they're not even doing basics and stuff.
Like the SEALs and wrestlers, dude, sometimes they get, not SEALs, but wrestlers get stuck in their ways. Like, yo, I need to suffer to win. I'm like, no, that's good that you did that. But now we can optimize and perform better. Like, I'm not taking that away from you. I know you can perform on low calories, but like, that's not the point. Like, I'm not trying to, but you can perform better and still, you already done everything you need to get that mentality. Now we can optimize just a little bit, not the other way around, you know?
Yeah. So what's your personal craziest weight cut story?
I got a few.
So that's a lot of weight cuts.
So my sophomore year, so I was drinking tea. This is when I got into caffeine. I'm like, wait, if I drink tea before my cardio, I could burn more fat? All right, green tea. I'm drinking green tea right when I wake up. And I used to wake up at 4:30 every morning because class started at 7:20. 4:30, I already had all my sweats, my sauna suit all laid out, put it on, went on the bike, and I did intervals for 45 minutes with a sauna suit. And I'm like 115 pounds here with no calories. I'm like, oh, this is the way. Then 30 minutes in, I'll call my mom. I'm like, yo, can you start the hot bath? Then I'll jump into the hot bath. I'm like, oh, I think I'm sweating. This is the way, right? Then I wouldn't eat all day. The only thing I would eat was probably one banana mashed with, I don't know if you know this, is Shakeology.
Yeah.
You know Shakeology?
Yeah.
My mom had it because I guess she was trying to do this diet thing. I'm like,
yeah.
Wait, this is supposed to, it was like a multivitamin shake protein thing. I didn't know anything about protein. I'm like, all right, one banana mashed with Shakeology. Have that. And my one water bottle at lunch. Then I would practice for 2.5 hours after that. Then I'll eat my egg whites and spinach. Three egg whites and spinach, and that's it. No oil. Too much calories.
You can't do that.
So I did that for the whole season, and like that killed me. But that in my head, like, all right, more suffering. I'm about to win more. So that was just my daily weight cutting. Like again, not optimized. Just every day, no water, no food. Maximum on the cardio with a sauna suit and hot baths, then plus practicing with like 2 layers of sweats on. So that was my daily. Then I had a habit of 24-hour fasting before. I added 24-hour fast before weigh-ins because every time I 24-hour fast, I lose 2 pounds. So if I get in 2-pound range, just don't eat or drink. I'm good.
Maths.
Then after that season, I got up to from 106, the weight class, to 146, and we had nationals. It's like 3 months removed from 2 months or 3 months removed from states, the end of season. And they actually have it here at the convention center, the NHCAs. And it was 109. And my off-season coach asked me, like, yo, you want to wrestle 106? Not knowing how my weight was. And I said, yeah, I got it. And I was 145 1 month before the NHSCA's weigh-ins. So I don't know how much that was to cut, but 145 to 109. And he said, are you sure? You look a little big. You sure you can make it? And I'm not going to make excuses. Yeah, easy. Not easy in my head, but like, wrestler, I'm not going to tell my coach I'm...
Yeah.
So again, started double my cardio, double my morning workout, practice with all these sweats. And I would do like 2-day fast. All right, eat a little bit. 2-day fast, eat a little bit. And my brother was with me. He was my drilling partner everywhere. And he saw me basically dying. Like I would shoot a single. We do our drills. Then I'm turtled up, slow to get up. I'm like punching the mat, like come on. And coach is like, yo, D, is Gav good? And D, no, he speaks on my behalf. Like, yeah, he's good. because he knows that that's what I want him to say.
Uh,
And I was cutting weight so bad. And I think I got 120 within a week. I'm like, yes, 20 pounds. Like face sunken in and everything. I'm like, yes, 20 pounds. Like 20 pounds down, just 11 pounds. That's easy. And I was like just fasting and working out, and practicing. Then it was like last day, I'm like, all right, do my 24-hour fast. We're good. I'm like, I just skipped school. Like, I can't walk. I can't do anything. I'm just on the treadmill with my hands just walking. I'm like, come on, squeeze it out. And it was night weigh-ins, the day of weigh-ins. I'm like, come on, like 3 more pounds. And I was getting desperate here. I was like, is there like, bro, is there laxatives? Like, he's like, you don't have anything in your stomach.
Yeah, that's good of him to recognize that.
And we saw the laxatives, like, the magnesium, the one that tastes like Sprite. It's like, wait, this is like 1 pound when we don't know if it's gonna work. That's extra pound, right? I'm like, and I'm just like, not in it. I'm just like getting mad at everyone, like my mom and my brother. It's mostly my brother, and my mom was worried. I'm like, don't let her in the room, type of thing, because again, I'm suffering. So it's like, again, like, all right, I'm fine. I'm kind of cognizant. Then, okay, this is the crazy part. It was like 1 hour before, and I was like Googling stuff. I'm like, there's this thing called a suppository. You know what that is?
Yep.
I was like, hot bathing. I was like, Mom, get this for me. I need it. It's important. And I got out the hot bath, laying on the carpet, like soaking wet. I'm like, D's not gonna do it. I was like, my mom was like, I wiped your ass when you were a kid. I'm like, just put it in. And I'm just laying. I'm like, it's not working. It's like, because there's nothing in me. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I'm just laying there an hour before weigh-ins. It's like a 3-hour window. It's already 2 hours, like, in the window of, where you can weigh in. Yeah. And I'm just like, come on, something come out. Come on. And then I ended up just going because it was last second. And I was like 110. But the guy saw me basically dying on the scale. He said, don't worry about it. You're on weight. And I was like, I'm good. Then I couldn't eat, like, probably, 6 hours afterwards because, like, my stomach was like this. Yeah. Had no water. Like, I couldn't drink because it was, like, cramping my stomach so bad. Yeah. Yeah. Then by like midnight, I was able to put some stuff down. Then back to binge eating. Yeah. I'm like, fuck. Like, thinking back out of it, it's like so ridiculous. But then I got back to like 120, and my mind wasn't in there when I was wrestling, but I still performed pretty good. Yeah. Because that's just what wrestlers do, right? Yeah. That's just what I'm gonna perform. Harsh condition makes resilient bodies, right? Yeah. Then I did fairly well. It was like the duels. It wasn't even an individual tournament, so like more people were relying on me. So that just gave me more nos to try to cut weight, right? Indirectly. This is all my doing, of course. Yeah. And I did fairly well. Then I was like, whew. Then I bounced back up to like 150. Yeah, Of course. Naturally. Of course. Yeah. I think, so that's probably my craziest.
I think the craziest, so I had a teammate, I won't dom them out, say their name or anything, but so we had a guy he was like 0.2 over leaving, and same kind of stuff, just dry, nothing coming out. I'm like, we're like moving his feet on the bike and like nothing's happening. Like we're doing the activity for him to try to get him to sweat, just not sweating. And looking back, like I know now because like there's nothing in him. His body's in his body's in survival mode. It's holding on to everything. But we're on our way to weigh-ins. He's like, hey man, stop by McDonald's. Well, that's the last thing you need. You're 0.2 over. Like the last thing you need is McDonald's. We need to just keep the heat on in the car. Yeah. Keep chewing the gum and spitting and all this crate, which by then it's like, I'm sure you've been there and tried that. You get so dried out that you put gum in your mouth and try to chew it and it won't gum up. It's so bad. It just becomes like crumbled. Yeah. He's like yelling, just stop. I'm like, all right, cool. We stop. We let him in. We're like, well, I guess he's giving up. Yeah. Whatever. Because we all know he's just missing. Yeah. He goes in, he's in there for about 10 minutes and he comes back out. He's like, I think I'm on weight. Like, well, we know you didn't throw up because you've been trying to throw up for like 12 hours and you can't even do that. Just being honest here, that's not great, but wrestlers will do that. That's why there's so many eating disorders post wrestling. He's like, just trust me, I think I'm on, but I don't want to tell you what I did till we get there. He gets there, weighs in, he's 0.1 under. I'm like, dude, what did you do? He's like, well, I went in and I asked for a bottle of Dasani and some salt packets. And he goes, then I went to the bathroom and I mixed the salt packets in the bottle of water and I gave myself an enema.
Oh my God. Hey.
And we're just staring. I'm like, well, number one, like we're all just looking at him like really impressed, but then it just hits me. I'm like, why did your brain go there? Like, how did you
get it done?
That's actually kind of brilliant, to think of a high schooler's mind to sit there and think like this will work, like create this solution. And I got, man, but he made it.
He was just focused on the task.
Yeah.
And within the constraints, that was the only way.
There's a lot of constraints there. I think mine, I didn't have to cut much with wrestling. I was the smaller guy. Like I could change my diet a little bit the day before and make weight wrestling. But my first fight, this was back when it wasn't even legal in Tennessee. We would go up to Kentucky and fight in these like National Guard armories. Yeah. And they would just find two people that were close to the same weight and you would fight each other. Like 3 hours after weigh-ins. Like you'd weigh in, then go fight. Crazy. You'd have like pro gloves on. It was like pride rules, like stomping each other. Just, it was the good old days.
Yeah.
And then, and I remember my coach asked, he was like, hey, do you want to fight this weekend? I was like, yeah, I'm good. He's like, well, what's your weight? I'm like, I don't know, probably like 180, 185. I knew that wasn't the case, but I knew what they were wanting. Yeah. Like, cool, I'll put you down because they needed a 170. They were wanting me to be about a 170. And dude, I was like 200 pounds. And I had a week. Yeah. So like, I think altogether it was like 10 days. I'm like, all right, cool, same thing, I can do this. And I'm in college. So I'm like going to class. So like every day I wake up, I go do my like morning cardio. I think it was doing like elliptical or stair stepper for an hour. Then I'd go to class. All I would eat, I remember I'd have 4 pieces of tilapia. So I would make 4 pieces of tilapia for the day. So I was eating a lot more than you with my 4 pieces of tilapia. And then I would literally had a container of spinach and I would just do like handfuls of raw spinach. Yeah. And it was more of just like a fatigue thing. I just didn't want to cook it. And I was living out of a dorm. So I would allow myself 4 pieces of tilapia a day and just spinach as I would want it. And then 2 days away from weigh-ins, I stopped eating. 1 day out from weigh-ins, I stopped drinking, like no water. And then I still have a lot of weight to cut. Yeah. As you know, and I'm wanting to say it was at that point, I'm wanting to say I was still like 185, 188. 10 days later. So I just sauna almost all night. I'm in the sauna. I remember telling my friend at that time, like, don't let me out. Yeah. Like if I start to try, like I have to stay in for this amount of time. I remember at one point I'm just leaning against the sauna door just to get out quicker. So like when the timer goes off and he opens the door, I just fall out. And I'm just like trying to gasp that cool air to make weight. And by then it's like, dude, the bottom of the sauna is just like a puddle, of sweat. But anyway, so we do it. I get there, like I make weight. Nice. And they're and they're like, okay, you and so are going to fight. And dude, this was like you had no notice. You didn't know who your opponent was. No one. There wasn't videos of anyone. And I remember back then I wouldn't get as nervous then as I would later in my career. Yeah. But so I go in, I make weight. And the first thing I do, I just go eat. I start eating. Well, then I just throw up because my body can't handle it. Yeah. My body can't handle. I started eating too fast. I didn't know the things I know now about we need to hydrate first and then focus on food. So then I go check my weight and I'm actually less. Yeah. I weigh even less. And I mean, dude, it's just awful. My stomach's cramping, like bowels coming up. So eventually we kind of like get that cooled off and I'm like, man, I'm just not going to be able to eat before the fight. And I just remember being in the locker room and this guy who was a training partner comes up to me. He's like, man, you look nervous, are you? I was like, yeah. He goes, good, you should be. You could get hurt doing this. And walks off. I'm like, walks off. And I'm like, like, oh my god.
Thanks for that, man.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Jay Page was his name. We joke about it every time I see him now. But I go out there. We fight. I end up winning in like 9 seconds. Nice. Actually, like I do like
best
this.
Best case scenario.
Yeah. This guy comes. I do this mix of like a guillotine and a sprawl and just drop him chin first to the ground. So I win, and I remember the ref raises my hand and my knees buckle, and the ref has to help me stand. Yeah. It's like I'm so weak. I just think back, like, how stupid is that? Yeah. And then eventually, years later, I would have almost died doing a weight cut. And that's kind of what inspired me to go to school for nutrition and start figuring this thing out. God, I just think about it. It's like my 8-year-old, my 5-year-old wrestle, and I love that they wrestle. I want them to wrestle. I'm not pushing it, but I'm like hoping they keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like, man, I got to protect them from that though.
Yeah.
Like I want them to experience all the tough stuff with wrestling, but man, they can't be cutting weight like we used to.
Yeah, I tell that to some of the parents that we do, like some of the kids we train, and some of the wrestlers I used to help out at a high school. It's like, it was my choice. Of course, I'm like the head guy, but for some of these kids, I'm the head guy. So I'm telling them, like, you should even think about cutting weight. And for D, he says, like, you shouldn't even think about cutting weight unless you're at, like, the world level, elite level.
Agree.
Like, there's so much things that could be done, so much improvement you could be done outside of cutting weight, that until the very end, like literally like ADCC, or even then, me personally, I don't cut that much weight. It's like, just focus on getting better. Just focus on getting better, being the best person you could be, having good quality practice, and being consistent. And that will take you farther than any cutting weight does, right? Then when we checked all those boxes off, then we could think about cutting weight in a strategic way, in a healthy way, not like how we did. So, if I could go back, I would just smack myself. But also be more forgiving, because I'm like, this actually made me the person who I am today. So I don't ever regret any of those things, because those are good experiences, even though they were pretty bad. But but as a coach and a future coach towards the youth, it's like, yo, don't even think about weight classes. Don't even think about cutting weight. I don't, like, 5 pounds for a kid is not going to do that much. Like, let's focus on just skill.
Just get better.
And it's hard with these parents, because they're like, oh, they want to win this. Like, dude, I haven't, like, jiu-jitsu-wise, I haven't won anything from when I was 9 to 20, right? Like, I know a lot of people I grew up with that won that stuff. They are not around today. Like, they're doing other things.
Burned
like,
out.
Yeah. It's like, that's not, like, these short-term wins are not important for kids. It's like imbuing habits of effort and work and consistency is going to go take them way farther than, oh, I won this medal. So that's the big thing me and my brother are trying to relay to the youth and these parents. It's hard, of course.
Oh yeah, the parents always make it harder.
So bad, but yeah.
We talked a little bit about coaching, and we touched on it a little bit before, but talk about your new gym. Tell us a little bit about that.
Me and my brother are starting BlackBox Grappling Club. It's right down the street here in VB. It's just, we grew up in VB, and we ventured out and competed at the highest levels. Again, not for the sake of competing at the highest levels. We ventured out to be the best people we could become. And we've been through it all. Like, we tried everything. We don't shut ourselves off to any method, anything that we haven't tried ourselves. We're like scientists, right? Engineers. We have to verify these things ourselves, and that's what we did our whole career. And creating an environment that encourages that is what we're trying to do here regarding grappling in Virginia Beach, because we know the community a lot, and it's being held back from the way people think things should be done for no valid reason, right? Oh, I can't cross train. Why not? I gotta be loyal to my. No, that's ridiculous, right? Like, your coach should be encouraging you to venture out and try to be the best person you could be, regardless if it's with them or not, right? And that's what our coaches did. So that's like one message or one thing we want to provide the next generation and practitioners in Virginia Beach. Like, all this ridiculous political nonsense, like on the jiu-jitsu side, is not necessary. All we're about is providing a place where we can practice, talk, troubleshoot, work, and try to get better every day. Simple, right? And you think a lot of places would provide this, but we had to create our own environment growing up, right? I was lucky to have my brother, because we just talk and had someone to work with and basically talk to about anything. And so our goal is just to create an environment and a place where people are open, or that it's open for discussion, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully that opens up in the next month or two. That's a new endeavor, business.
Yeah.
Getting growth mindset. I know I'm not gonna be perfect. I know I'm gonna fall on my face a bunch, but it's about getting back up and like resolving. So
We all have already started creating like such a good culture with it, but so like, what does it mean for you though to be able to do this with your brother? Because you obviously look up to him. You've talked about how your brother would do something, and it would just kind of be the thing that you would do. And like watching you guys coach together, you're obviously close, like very, very synced in your mindsets as well. Yeah. So like, how cool is that to be able to do this with your brother?
It's awesome. I think our lives were already oriented this way, but because we had to pay bills, right? Pay rent. We have to work. We went to school. So how we wanted life was always suppressed. And the opportunity now at the first, not at the first opportunity, we're already orienting this way, saving money, setting things in place. So when we have the opportunity to open our gym, it's an easy decision. All I will say on that is like, this is how we've been living all the time. And now there's no constraints on how we can live it, how we can run it, because it's going to be our thing. And hopefully we can take a lot of people with us. Right?
Yeah. What is it as far as the things that you guys want to take from traditional jiu-jitsu? And what are the things that you want to leave behind that you think traditional jiu-jitsu actually holds back?
I just want to leave the name, right? Let people know our goal and help them realize their goal, or better way to say it, their intention. You would think people's intentions are to get better if you do any endeavor like jiu-jitsu or grappling, it's to get better and be the best person you could be. But people say that, but their actions don't align. I just want to leave the names away and understand that we're scientists, engineers, we're intellects. It's not about just mindlessly working, but we do believe in putting the work in, effort, consistency, and also thinking about how we could optimize. I just want to leave behind like, oh, you shouldn't do this, or this is the right way to do. We don't know until we try it, and everyone's different, right? So I really just want to leave behind everything, all the labels, like tradition or this should be this way, and leave the, oh, this is the right way to do, this is the wrong way to do. We'll figure it out. And it's always an online process, talking, open discussion. No one has figured out jiu-jitsu. No one has figured out anything. If you ever meet someone that has figured out something, they're lying to you, right? So being like that up front, like, me and D just have a lot more experience. And even like, CJ and some of the white belts at BlackBox, like they have good, valid feedback that we use every day to inform practice. In a traditional setting, you're like, you're a white belt, shut up, right? We're not like that. So again, it's like more of a club. I think we talked about this too. It's like, it's not a school, it's not an academy, it's a club where people get together for jiu-jitsu or grappling, whatever it is, and work together to get better as a whole. So,
yeah. And I like, personally, I enjoy that. And if people want to do this, it's fine. But and the gym is BlackBox Grappling Club. Yeah. Like people aren't like getting in, like bowing onto the mat. Like there's not that. And it's fine if gyms want to do that. It's completely okay. But like wrestlers aren't doing that. Like wrestlers don't like bow to get on the wrestling mat. Like they jump in, they start circling and warming up and getting their knees warm and fist bump and go. And that's what I like about it. Again, like there's you don't have a lot of those traditional things that it's like I have to do this. It's more like you just really just need to come in and get better. Where did the name come from and the aesthetics? Because it's got a very interesting aesthetic. Even the logo, everything about it seems like pre-planned.
So BlackBox is a reference that I got from my engineering background. Like, that's not gonna help with the stereotypes, but I was really good at math naturally. And so when I was learning algebra, I was learning algebra for the first time. We learned about this concept, BlackBox, right? You know the inputs, and you know the outputs, but you don't know what's going on in the black box, right? And in algebra, you're trying to figure out the function to connect the inputs and outputs. And that's kind of like what our club is doing. We don't know what exactly leads to the outputs. We know the work, the inputs, work that we put in, the consistency, what we're doing, what we're thinking about, how we're reflecting. But we never know if it's actually going to get us better or how exactly it will get us better. And it's not for us to figure it out. I just like highlighting that concept because that's jiu-jitsu. Again, like if someone tells you like, if you do this, you'll get better. I don't know. I have a friend that smokes and drinks and he gets better every day. But by the book, that should not work out, right? His black box is a little different. Yeah. People are like, oh, black box, like they think literally like black box. That's like, yo, where's the black on the walls? Yeah, I'm like, bro, guys, it's a metaphor. Yeah. It's a metaphor. And our logo is a gorilla and a cat. I think jiu-jitsu, I'm really big into streetwear, right? Creativeness and like expression. So I think jiu-jitsu is at a point where if you have a name, the logo is going to be literally that name, which I'm like, bro, that's not creative. Yeah. So I wanted it to represent me and my brother without having our face in it. That's why it's not called Corbe Jiu-Jitsu. Because, again, it's going to be a club where people get better. If we put our name, they're going to strive to be as good as us. I want you guys to get better than us. Yeah, that's cool. You know? There's nothing wrong with like, something jiu-jitsu, like a name. But for me, it's like, what kind of message are we trying to send? If we do that, it's like people are going to, again, I don't want people to be as good as me. I want them to get better. And I don't even want them to think about comparing themselves to other people. I want themselves to get as good as they can, right? So we just use BlackBox. It just resonated with me. And then the logo is like, I wanted something that represents me and my brother without literally saying or our faces or our last name. So I hit up this Japanese artist that did a lot of cool logos for a YouTube channel I like for this coffee place. I was like, hey, can you make a logo for our school? And I just told him about me and my brother, our personalities. And he created that gorilla and the cat. And I thought it represented us well. I'm the cat, of course. My brother's the gorilla. If you meet us in person, you get pick that up really, really quickly. Like, but it also shows that me and my brother are really close, but are very different at the same time. And that's compatible. That could happen, right? Yeah. People look at D, it's like, for me to be good like D and do what he does, I need to be like a gorilla. Me, I'm like, yo, I'm not copying this dude. I see this guy enough. I do not want to be like this guy. And I'm going to have my own take on it, which is more cat-like, right? He's more direct. I'm more indirect. How we solve problems in jiu-jitsu is very contrasting. He's direct. I'm indirect again. Like, he will just stop something. Like, you hand fight him. He won't let you get inside. He won't let you touch it. Oh, yeah, you can touch my elbows. You do whatever. But we complete the same task, like getting to your back, submitting on the legs, submitting on the neck. We just do it in different ways. Yeah. It kind of highlights there's no right way of doing it. That's just how we develop as people, and I think it really displays in our grappling. So, yeah. And gorilla and cat, it looks cool. I get a lot of questions about it. I just tell guys, think deeper. It doesn't have to be a black box. Yeah. It does not have to be a black box. It's like, it's not intellectual, but I want people to start thinking for themselves when it comes to these type of things. I feel black box and the logo does that for me. So
yeah, it makes them really cool. And I mean, it's cool. Like the merchandise will be awesome. Yeah. Speaking of kind of your style, anyone who follows you on Instagram saw this. I was dying. I saw it before I'd ever actually met you in person too. The sprawling is fake. Yeah. Talk about that a little bit.
Oh, that's just a troll video. And I did that went viral on accident, right? So, on platforms like this or on interviews, I really constrain or suppress myself so I don't hurt anyone's feelings, all that type of things. But when I realize who I am as a person, how I talk with my friends, how I act, how the jokes I make, right? I'm like, I think people not necessarily like it, but I'm just gonna put myself out there how I think. So I was like, it's one of those things. People say, "Yo, sprawling's the right way to do it," right? And I actually took that. I'm like, I'm gonna go as far as I can without sprawling. I will sprawl, of course, but like most people in grappling, they can't wrestle for. So I don't need a sprawl, one. And so, you know, I made that video for my friends, like CJ and all these other guys. Guys, look, sprawling is fake. Then, of course, it's satire. And people don't realize that. Because if you watch the last clip, I get double leg. And if you watch that match, I get double leg like 5 times. Yeah. Like, I know sprawling is useful. But that was just to appeal, one, be funny, and 2, appeal like people literally abide like, yo, you have to sprawl. You have to sprawl. If you want to defend tech, you have to sprawl. Like, if you don't do this, you're not going to be good. So I use that as a message like, yo, you could, all right, if the goal is not get taken down, or sprawling is one way to doing it. But for me, dude, it doesn't matter. I just don't let you take me down. Yeah. I said in the first line, I just don't consent to being taken down. Yeah. Again, that was a joke, right? Like, it doesn't matter about, like, as of all wrestling, they're going to take you down without your consent or not. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But for me, it's like, just like, bro, like, be creative. Like, not stop listening, but find ways to accomplish tasks without you being told, or there's a right way or wrong way of doing it. Right and wrong is only relative if you complete the task. If I don't take you, if you don't let me let you take me down, then that's right. Yeah.
Well, you talk about it being a joke, but it's kind of not really. Yeah. Because you are very hard to take down and you don't always sprawl. I mean, it really is just like pulling your leg out and being okay in different positions. And even got like Ben Askren. Yeah. Like many times Ben Askren would just let people get all the way to his hips and he would just drape over them and do the funk roll and all this. So it is like that in itself is kind of your style and
he inspired me a lot. Him and Jay Jaggers. Jay Jaggers? Something Jaggers. Ohio guy. He always sit to his hip and do cradles from I'm like, and people, dude, I got so much hate on that. It's like, wow, against a non-wrestler. Yeah, wait until you wrestle. Guys, I wrestled. I did the same things. I on the Virginia level, I got to the highest point or highest goal I could achieve without doing those type of things, right? It's like, and there was like, yo, I hope you tear your ACL. It's like guys, and that was that ankle video, right? Because some people are like, yo, you're gonna break your ankle. I'm like, I rage bait him. Like, for you guys, for me, like, man, I'm just different.
You're wimpy ankles. Yeah. It's like, not these. No, I do. I thought it was cool because I mean, it's obviously that you're kind of joking, but it also plays into your belief system. Yeah. It was like, well, no, like sprawling is the traditional way to not get taken down, but there are other ways, and part of that is literally just like I'm not consenting to it. Yeah. Again, it's funny, but it's also true. Yeah. It's like I'm just not going to let you do it. Yeah. And having that mindset, I think is awesome. So I just thought it was hilarious. But talk a little bit about that. Like when you're seeing someone, you keep talking about like everyone kind of has their own way, and you all want to inspire that and foster that. What are some of the things you look for when you see people on the mat and you can say like, that person's good at jiu-jitsu?
Their intention. Like, I didn't know you were a black belt, right? And that's not an insult or anything. It's just like, I was taking you how you are as a person. It's
cool because you guys don't discuss those things. Y'all don't be like, hey, what rank are you?
Yeah, really I let your grappling tell me more about yourself than you tell me, right? I watched you and you're like, yo, guys, I can't bend my legs. I'm like, and you were going with CJ, right? And Rob. And, you know, these guys are like, you ever see these guys in person? They're like, hefty. You know Rob. And they look the part and they're athletic and stuff. Then you're over here like, guys, I can't touch my heels. Like, I can't bend my legs. I'm like, oh, man, they're going to have a field day on Tyler. And, but it didn't matter. Like, you knew the task. You knew how to win. And you got there. And it surprised me, honestly. Because, like, I'm like, dang, that should not work. Like, athletically, you're very, like, unassuming. Yeah. Like, just the lower body because you're doing that. I was, like, primed of, like, but he's getting on top. He's reversing. He's doing all this. Like, you got that dog in you, right? And it's just you're very intentional. You know that you're gonna get there, and you know your physical, your individual constraints. Right. Like I'm limited, you're limited, of course. I'm limited, of course. But understanding how to play within that, that's just like that. I know that's gonna be a good athlete or a good practitioner, right? Like, and as a beginner, you're trying to learn that, see what your limits are. But then I see some people like. I want them, it takes time. You got to explore what is your body capable of. And it's always changing, right? As you get stronger, as you get more flexible, you're going to have access to different things. And I can see through playing the games if someone's trying to explore that, right? Then there's another part. There's people that come in, Could be a guy that's 250, trying to berimbolo, trying to do. He was like, "Oh, I saw you do this. Like I was trying to take my leg out like that for the single legs, bro. You're 250. You're not. You're not as flexible as me. It's like, stop. We call it. You're looking at the container, not the contents, guys. Like you're looking at how I do it, not the effect and conditions or the game or the task I'm trying to do. Just look at the task. Okay, I do get achieve it this way, but how do you reconcile that with your individual your body? And a lot of people could do that. Or some people know it's like, I don't have access to that, and that's fine. And being real with yourself and understanding that and using that to still complete the task is what makes a good athlete, right? And I see that with you. Like you're, and it's not an insult. It's like your legs. I'm like, yo, I have no worries about Tyler. I know he's going to try to win every time, and he's going to win most of it.
Yeah, and specifically what you're talking about is I've had so many knee surgeries, and I'm working on this because, again, I know I went through a period of my life where I just went through so many injuries, and I had retired from fighting. And honestly, I just didn't love jiu-jitsu. I put the time in. This coming February, it'll be 20 years that I've done jiu-jitsu. Yeah. But I did jiu-jitsu for fighting. Yeah. I didn't just like jiu-jitsu. But it's just over the years of knee surgery after knee surgery and pulled muscles, just all these different things. My heels cannot physically touch my butt. Like I cannot sit on my heels. And when I say that, people think it's a joke. And then I show them, like they can push me down. I'm like, dude, it's not happening. Like put 225-pound barbell on my butt will not touch my heels. That being said, it's getting better and better because I'm actively working on it because I know how important that is for things like guard retention. But it's like when we have these games that are all about pulling your feet back in, sometimes I literally have to physically grab my foot and pull it back in.
And that's another thing. I'm like, yo, he knows. He's making it happen. Like people that, it's not even about making it happen, but trying to make it happen is what shows me that, all right, this guy is going to go far.
Yeah.
Right? This guy's
it's because I know I know that those aren't things that I'm good at, but now I'm forcing myself to get better at those. I got really good at things that shouldn't catch people, like the fat man roll. Like I call it a fat,
I love it.
Like I catch people with that constant. Like, dude, it's like a month one wrestling thing. Like you shouldn't be able to get people with that that have been grappling for a while. But I find ways to set it up and hide it and sneak it because it helps me where I'm limited in flexibility until I get that flexibility. Again, I'm working on it.
That shows skill, no matter what happened, like skill prevails outside of your limitations, right? Yeah. And that's what shows.
Yeah. So. And jiu-jitsu is such ultimately the way you win, the ideal way to win, there's points in this, but the way you win is a submission. So it's like, I think sometimes too many people focus purely on submission. Like, what are the things that you think people need to focus on before they even start worrying about submission so much?
The foundations, the fundamentals of jiu-jitsu. And like in the community, that could have different meanings. But for me and my brothers, like the basic rules of being a standing player, a top player, and a bottom player. And it dwindles down to a few key things. And before submissions, like I honestly believe I'll get an athlete and we just focus on these fundamental things. I'm not going to go, I could go deep into it, but I'm like, that'll be another tangent. Yeah. But if they just focus on these things and these are removed from submission, they could beat probably 90% of the people in the jiu-jitsu community. Like, imagine someone just knows how to stay on top against anyone, right? They just know how to keep the guy flat. And, okay, it sounds like stalling and stuff, but just the basics, like staying on top and keeping our partner down. And we have games for that, right? If a beginner novice works on that for a year and just develops skills around that without even knowing a submission, that's going to be a hard. You will think he's a skilled player. Same thing with a guard. Like being able to move someone, connect, and like manage distance, not letting them close or keeping space. We play games so we could highlight those skills. And if a beginner plays that for a year and really like takes it seriously, like even within a year, they could beat a lot of people. And on the feet, like a lot of people are adverse to wrestling. One, because it makes them tired, but like, yo, you need that. But staying inside the elbows, D is the textbook version of this, right? Yeah. Like it's annoying and kind of stupid. Not stupid, but it's like, yo, when I go with him, yo, you're stupid, bro.
Yeah.
Like he literally stays inside the elbows the whole time. Yeah. He's like a brick wall.
Yeah.
And I think people have access to that if they worked on it for even a few months. Like imagine you're a white belt, never did jiu-jitsu, and all we're focusing on is staying inside the elbows.
Yeah.
Then you go with a brown belt, whatever, and like you just, all right, you don't take them down, but you're good at hand fighting, stay inside. They're gonna be like with CJ, it's like, yo, what belt is this guy? CJ's only a white belt. He's been training less than a total of 1 year. Yeah.
That's the truth?
Yeah, that's the truth.
Holy smokes.
Because he trained 6 months with me, and we worked on these type of things. And, you know, he's my homie, right? I won't do this on everyone, but he had one intermediate competition early on. Then after that, I'm like, all right, we're throwing you in advance within like 3 months. I'm like, you're going to lose. It's the growth mindset. I don't care if you lose. It's not about, it's testing you, right?
Yeah.
And if you can stay consistent within like losing in the face, you'll be good. And we just worked on that. Then when I moved to Maryland, he stopped for quite a bit. For him, it's more of a social thing. He like hanging out with his boys and getting better with people he likes. Like that's a big thing for people, and that's for him. And he just recently got back, right? And dude, I feel like even though CJ takes all this time off, he thinks about it, right? And he's like, oh yeah, stay inside the elbows. I haven't trained in 2 years, but you'll get it done. Like he'll be intentional. You feel it, right? So I honestly believe, right? And of course, everyone's gonna be different. But if you have a guy that buys in, that understands that it's gonna be difficult, there's gonna be a lot of failures, and all you have to do is work hard, be consistent, and be intentional with these foundational things, it can surpass a lot of people in the jiu-jitsu community. And I kind of want to do that with BlackBox to show people that the traditions, some of these traditions suck in jiu-jitsu. It's holding you back, guys. Like, I don't want to go on a tangent, but basically.
No, I get it.
So.
Well, I think it's cool too, because with that approach and with that style, like mental reps are a thing. Like you talked about CJ, he'll focus on that and he'll come in and do it. And I texted D yesterday, like your brother, he gave me just like one thought to think about, like with getting my feet in and how to think about that. And I was thinking about it all day. And like when that's your process and when you're not so focused on going in, drilling moves and getting this move, and instead you're thinking of concepts and philosophies constantly, you can get reps all day. Like you can get those mental reps even when you're not grappling. And I think that's like a beauty of it. So like I have Monday at training, I have a goal like in my head already based off of the conversation me and D had that was more philosophical and a thought process than it was actually do this specific technique. It wasn't something, it was all about getting my feet in, but it wasn't, hey, you turn here and you go in this way. You turn this. It's like, I just want you to think about this Monday. No matter what the game is being played, if we go with the legs, no matter what the constraints are, no matter what the wind conditions are, I want you to have these own little wind conditions in your head that you're doing this. And again, like I'll be getting mental reps all the way up until Monday. Yeah,
it's representative too. Some people have mental reps, but they're, I used to drill. It's just this in my head. But then you do it, and it's like, oh, wait, this guy just took his foot out, and all those mental reps were wasted. But those mental reps, I have those same things. It's like, D's putting my face into the mat. I'm trying to get to a leg. And, I play that through. There's, like, resistance in the mental reps, too. You know?
What moves do you think right now, because jiu-jitsu is constantly evolving, like, what do you think, or styles, what do you think right now is underrated, and what do you think is overrated?
I don't know if it's underrated or overrated, but just wrestling. Dude. Most of these grapplers suck at wrestling. Not saying I'm the best, right? I'm gonna get out wrestled by a good wrestler too. But is that underrated or overrated? If I say
that would be you think wrestling is underrated. You don't think people are appreciating it enough.
But I also think people do appreciate it. But maybe those are the wrestlers in the jiu-jitsu community.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, wrestling is the next style. But people see that, it's like, well, that's not jiu-jitsu or not grappling. Like, bro, I think wrestling, just as a topic, needs to be more emphasized overall as a thing in the community. People just don't like getting tired. If you're not a wrestler, I get, like, if I didn't have my wrestling background, I'm just gonna pull guard and like I'm gonna avoid wrestling at all. We need to have a mental shift that, all right, it sucks, but we need to focus on wrestling. Basically make wrestlers out of grapplers. And I don't think it may not be possible. So I'm just gonna focus on people that have wrestling backgrounds. No, I'm just kidding. But those athletes are so easy if they have a wrestling background because you don't need to teach them. The intensity comes, the intentionality comes, and they know it's like the value of wrestling. So
There's a coach by Vince Lombardi, like one of the greatest coaches of
Yeah.
all time, that says fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that was such a huge. There's so much meaning behind that,
Yeah.
and especially when it comes to wrestling and fighting. And I think back when I wrestled in high school, it was my first year wrestling, and I got tired during a match. And I remember we've all been to that point where it's like you almost are pinned, but there's something sticking up. Like you just have one point and they can't get you. And I remember being so exhausted that I thought I would rather just get pinned and get this over with. And I just relaxed, and it was over because I'm like, it's over. And then I went and got back on the bleachers and hated myself.
Yeah.
I felt like such a failure, not because I lost, because it was my first year. I was losing every match. But I just remember that feeling so harsh, like on myself. And from that moment on, it changed everything. Like with wrestling, I became the guy who was doing extra stair runs afterwards. I was showing up to practice early and doing the extra stuff. I was training on the weekends, even when we didn't have matches. And as a fighter, I kind of got known for that too, as the guy who don't get tired.
Yeah.
And it was all because one time I literally became a coward because I was so tired.
Yeah.
That now I'm like, that'll never happen. That I have no plan B when it comes to that. That's kind of my non-negotiable, is like I will not let myself get tired in a match, which is not true. Like you will get tired, but I won't show it, and like I won't
being able to fight through it is a big thing.
I won't stop because of it. And I think that's so important. I think that's you see that a lot more in the wrestling mindset, because there's really not stalling in wrestling like you can jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, you can get to some comfortable places and get your breath and relax. Like that's not a thing in wrestling.
Yeah.
You're constantly going.
Yeah. I do get tired. My take on that, or for me, it's like I just accept I'm gonna be gassed, but my will to win is gonna be more important than my state of fatigue. When I started competing like in the highest level or some of these big tournaments as a grappler, off the rip, I'm sprinting. I just know it's gonna suck. And I'm gonna want to throw up, and it's gonna feel like my heart's gonna explode. And I just accept that. Like, all right, I'd rather die from my heart exploding than this guy beating me. Like if I'm turtle and they're trying to spin, and I literally, everything feels like bricks, right? That's where my competitive comes in. I'd rather die and have my heart explode than this guy take my back, right? And people still take my back and stuff, but that's the intention, right? But some people, and not to use this word loosely, traumatizes them. And actually it's a big thing that makes them not want to do jiu-jitsu. The moment they get tired, I know how it feels. They think they're going to die. Like, especially for someone that's never done anything athletically in their life, they do jiu-jitsu, okay, and they do a competition, all right, anxiety's all right, their heart rate's already at 150. Moment they're squeezing, like everything's cramping, and their heart's about to explode. Like that one experience, I feel like, makes a lot of people quit jiu-jitsu. Yeah. But guess what? Wrestling, you do that every week, every day, in practice, all of that. Like, people weed themselves out in wrestling all the time. It's not meant for everyone, but the people that do stick around for more than one season, like even just one season, those guys, they have something different. You know? And I think that's why like a lot of like wrestlers go to buds and all that stuff. It's like,
a lot of Navy SEALs wrestled first, and I think that it is because of that. I use a quote a lot that toughness is relative to past experience. People who are the toughest, it's just because they have a long history of having to accomplish tasks through resistance and being tough. And if you are a wrestler, like by the end of season 1, you have put in many, many weeks of being freakishly tough. So I do think it has good carryover. But if someone wanted to get really good, like we have a new person or someone who's just trying to get to the next level, if someone wanted to get really good at jiu-jitsu in the next 5 years, what are the top things they should be focused on?
Maybe not technically, but showing up, being consistent, being intentional, putting in the effort. Those are non-negotiable, right? And I'll add this thing that I think a lot of wrestlers don't have is being reflective, like being able to reflect and think about your practice in an analytical, not really analytical way, but you know, there's guys like, oh, grind every day, don't think, just put in the work. I mean, that's good. But if I was to add anything, it's like, all right, what went well this practice? What didn't go well? And being real with yourself, right? Like being your own coach kind of thing. Of course, they're gonna have a coach, but like I'm not with you every day. So being able to think about jiu-jitsu, like how you were, or yesterday, right, about the feet thing, that takes a lot of people far. Of course, you have to still show up, be consistent, and work hard. I don't care if they lose for the first 4 years. If they could keep those habits and have those habits, they'll be good by the end of it. Technical wise, I think you could do anything technically if it's grappling related. It's those habits that drives the practice is what makes or breaks people's development. Yeah.
I like that. What's next for you? Like, what are your next big goals?
Big goals? I don't think
in
about
jiu-jitsu.
In jiu-jitsu? Man, right now there's nothing. When big tournaments come, of course I'll realign and go towards that direction. But it's the same thing every day. I do jiu-jitsu because I like it, or grapple because I like it, and I want to get better every day. That's not gonna change for the rest of my life. So, not really any big goals. If CJI or ADCC comes up, okay, I'm gonna want and try to win that every time. But nothing on the forefront of my mind. Just getting better, working hard, hanging out with my boys while training, and still jiu-jitsu related, but try to grow BlackBox. Try to figure out all that stuff.
I think that's a good a good bow on the episode, because it's kind of what we talked about the whole time. That's your all's thought process, the system that you use. That's the goal of BlackBox, is to not necessarily focus on the end product, the outcome. It's just focus on the process, enjoy, and get better every day.
Yeah.
So, but man, I've had a good time. It's the first time I've sat across and got to podcast with someone who regularly beat me up the day before. So
No.
no, I enjoyed it. But thanks for coming on, man. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, and I'm excited. This is to speak on BlackBox. It's the most fun I have ever had training jiu-jitsu.
I'm glad.
It's so much fun. So, I'm excited to see the growth with it. And if you're in Virginia Beach, it's the gym to go to. And if you're not in Virginia Beach, I think it's going to become a place. I think it's going to become a destination gym where people are wanting to come do camps and stuff here. So
I hope.
I'm excited to be part of that, but appreciate it.
Thank you for being part of it, man. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I want to thank you guys for watching, and also a word of thanks to our sponsors who have made this episode possible. All I ask is that you guys please hit the like and subscribe button, as it helps the podcast grow, and so we can continue to bring on some great guests for you guys. I'll see you in the next one.